In 1961, a young American president looked up at the sky and made a promise that would change humanity forever, not because it was easy, but because it was hard. We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Before any human dared to go, a small dog named Laika went first. She launched aboard Sputnik 2 in November 1957. She would not return. But she proved that living creatures could survive in space, and her sacrifice lit the path for everything that followed. On February 20th, 1962, John Glenn became the first American to orbit the Earth, circling the globe 3 times in just under 5 hours. A nation held its breath, and then let it out. Mission Control erupted. The dream of American spaceflight was now a reality. But here's what the history books left out for decades. The calculations that launched men into space were done by hand, by women, black women. Mathematicians like Katherine Johnson, Dorothy Vaughan, and Mary Jackson, working in segregated offices, their genius hidden in plain sight. John Glenn refused to launch unless Katherine Johnson personally verified the trajectory. The math that saved lives, she wrote it. Through the 1960s, the Apollo program launched mission after mission, each one pushing further than the last. Teams of thousands, engineers, scientists, mathematicians, gave everything they had, yet to answer one of humanity's oldest questions. Can we reach the moon? July 20th, 1969. A generation stopped breathing, and then Neil Armstrong's voice crackled across space. The Eagle has landed. In living rooms across America, people wept. Strangers hugged. Children pressed their noses to TV screens. A species that had only just learned to fly had landed on another world in one lifetime. But science is not without sacrifice. In 1967, Apollo 1's crew perished in a launch pad fire. And on January 28, 1986, the Space Shuttle Challenger broke apart 73 seconds after liftoff. 7 astronauts lost, a nation in mourning. The exploration of space has always asked for everything, and some gave all of it. And yet the dreamers kept coming. Christa McAuliffe, a teacher, a mother, was going to teach a lesson from space. Ron McNair became one of the first black men in space, a pioneer who broke barriers with every mission. And in 1992, Dr. Mae Jemison became the first black woman to travel to space. She had grown up watching Star Trek, and then she became the real thing, a legacy of dreaming that reached the stars. After the Cold War, old rivals became partners. The Russian Soyuz and the American Space Shuttle docked in orbit. The International Space Station became a permanent human home in space, continuously occupied since the year 2000. Science had no borders. Thousands of satellites now orbit Earth, giving us GPS, weather forecasting, and global communications. We didn't just go to space. The Hubble Space Telescope, launched in 1990, showed us galaxies billions of light years away. We learned to see. And the James Webb Space Telescope is now letting us peer back to the very birth of the universe itself. Then something extraordinary happened. Space opened its doors. Elon Musk's SpaceX, Jeff Bezos's Blue Origin, Richard Branson's Virgin Galactic. Celebrities went to space, pop stars went to space. The exclusive domain of governments was now open to all. And at 90 years old, William Shatner, the fictional Captain Kirk, actually went. He came back weeping. It was no longer a dream. Think about what we've lived through. From a president's bold promise to boots on the moon in 8 years. From Sputnik beeping in the dark to a space station permanently staffed by humans. From handwritten calculations to telescopes that see the birth of the universe. Science did all of this, not in centuries, in one lifetime. Yours, mine, ours. Science literacy is the language of our greatest adventure, and we are still, all of us, on that journey. Visit unbedsidemanners.com for more stories of the human adventure.